Okay, so set builder and interval notation, it's a useful thing for how to write inequalities and math. So we kind of need to know the different ways that they talked about this. So we're going to look at this. This is set builder. I need to do it this way. So set builder, this is your variable. And this part is going to be the explanation of how they're finding numbers of answers. And it can be inequalities or other equations that they're going to talk about, stuff like that. So in generally, this is where we're going to have that inequality part. This first is x such that, so it's red, x such that, and in this case, it's -7 is less than or equal to x is less than -5. So this little bar just means such that. So math likes to do a lot of symbols to shorten things for what we're talking. When we're talking interval notations, that is going to be using brackets and parentheses. So these, and then we have U for gaps. And we have an upside down U for intersects where it overlaps, but we're not going to need those for this and for what we're doing with here. So that's what we're talking about. So we are going to be drawing these and then rewriting them using the brackets and the parentheses. So first thing we're going to do is our numbers that we're talking about. The inequalities, I was going to put a little bit more with here. So open circles are going to be the brackets. They could go either the parentheses, sorry. The closed circles are the brackets. These are also the less thans or the greater thans, and these are the less thans or equal tos or the greater than or equal tos. And then this is just our shadings. So looking at this very first one, we need a closed circle at -7 because it is or equal to, so closed circle. And it is going, x is in between, and it's going to have an open circle at -5. My shading is going to go in between those. And now when we're doing interval notation, the other thing that we do want to say about this is we always want smallest to largest. And it doesn't have an arrow, it's going to actually have a comma in them, and we can mix and match my brackets and parentheses. So for this one, we are going to be typing in, and it's got a closed circle, and then it's going to an open circle, and it's shaded right in between that. So I'm going to need a square, and then the other end is going to be a rounded. So they can mix and match. We can either type them or we can use this. So I'm going to put that in there. So my first dot is closed. My last dot is open. And then I'm just going to put my numbers in here. And -5. And then we're going to check. And hopefully we have everything correct. And it should be happy. Cool. We're going to do another one of these, and we're going to see if all of my writing still works with everything. So hopefully it still lines up. So in this case, we are starting with -5. It has got a less than, so it doesn't have the line note underneath it. So it's going to be an open circle at -5. And then it is going until -3, and that is also an open circle because the inequality does not have the line underneath it. X is in between them, so I'm going to be shading between them. And in this case, they're both open circles, so it's going to be both parentheses. So it's open circle to open circle. And I have a -5 to a -3. And then I am going to do another one of these hoping that I get to see something with a bit of a break. So we're going to check this one. It is correct. And then I want to get another example in there. So we are going to come up with another one in just a second. Okay, so this time we have a little bit different. We only have one number that we're talking about. So we're going to show what this looks like. So this has got an open circle at 0. So I'm going to go there. And now X is greater than, so if you get confused with those symbols, I don't like using the arrows at the ends because sometimes I'll have the X first, but the X is by the bigger part. So this means the X has to be bigger than the number that we have. We always look at the X part of it or the variable part. So I need to go bigger than 0, which means it's going to shade this way. So my line is going to be over here. I don't have a broken thing. So with this, when we're doing interval notation, I'm starting at a number which is 0 and it's an open circle. So the one thing that we do have to add into our notes is the infinities. So infinity, this is going to be infinity. It always gets a rounded bracket. Negative infinity would be if it's going off to the left, and that also gets a rounded bracket because it's not an exact number that we have, and it just means it's going on forever and ever. So this one is going to be 2 of those. We start with a 0, and then we go on to infinity. Okay. And then we're going to get another one to see if we can get those breaks in there for a video for you. Okay, so for this one, it's going to be similar to the last one that we have. We have 5 is our number. This time it is going to get a closed circle. So we're at 5. X has got the small point, so I would need all the numbers smaller than 5. So we're going to shade over here. In this case, it's going to that negative infinity and to a close point. So I need a round followed by a square. And I have my negative infinity and my 5. Oh, my 5, not my 4. Okay, and check.